Okay, so this is an update on the fuel transfer pump. The one that had a two-way switch on it was drawing too many amps. Could not use it, so I removed it. And I got two additional ones, two different styles. This is the same as the mechanics put in for the assist fuel pump for the engine. And so I'm using a 32 gallon per hour one over here, which is pumping away. But it'll take a while to fill up the day tank. I'm going to go back and have a look at the day tank right now. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Just came back in here to check for leaks. Doesn't seem to be. We've got it, the valves switched over. This one down here in particular has to get switched, opened when doing transfer. And let's see if I can climb out of here without shaking the phone all over the place. So we're going to go to the back where the day tank is. Yeah, looks good down there. We're going to go back to the day tank. And this is a much more modest setup than what I was planning. I could try the other one. I wanted to be able to take the fuel out of here too. So this is about 15 gallons in here. I thought, hey, that's good for backup fuel. Why not transfer it the other direction? But that'll be another day. So I do have aspirations to do that. In the meantime, I put a little patch in this cable to make it up to here. So that's where that pump is pumping the fuel in. I know it's getting in there because I can hear it trickling into the tank. And I'm going to watch it. I'll probably have to pause this, but I'll watch it coming up the overflow or the vent tube. When I see it coming into this transparent tube on its way to an overflow tank, then I'll know it's full. But I'll use that same transparent tube eventually to put a sight tube over here. But that turns out that's going to be a bigger operation because that's a copper pipe that runs through some crazy places. Even this rubber hose runs underneath the water tanks. So I'm not going to take it on right now. I'm just happy to have this pump working. And 32 gallons per hour. This is 15 gallons, so it could take a half an hour or so. So I'm going to pause it. Okay, so it actually filled up after about, just 10 minutes or so. So it filled up pretty quick. I have no idea how much was already in there, but I think it was probably half full. So, so that's pretty doable. Now I'm back in the engine compartment because I have to do one very important thing. And that is switch this back to shut off the flow to the transfer pump. Otherwise, the engine will start sucking it in, and that would not be good. I'm going to show the other pump in a second. Okay, so I'm going to show you the transfer pump that didn't work, and that's this one here. I haven't put it to a battery yet to find out if it's still working, but I don't think this is even working anymore. I think an under voltage, under amperage kind of situation happened because it just suddenly stopped making a noise. It never did successfully pump anything that I'm aware of. It did have some fuel inside it when I disconnected it though. But that would happen just from flowing in. And this is one of the two that I ordered, and this is a Carter, made in China, knockoff Carter thing. This is actually the one I was going to put in. It pumps faster. It still draws half, that's like 11 amps over there. And this is like 5 amps, maybe 5.5 amps. So it's similar to the one that was in there before the repower. Now the reason I didn't put it in, because you can see the two terminals down here are friction fit. And I was sent cables that get put on with nuts. I was supposed to get 2 hooded cables with a friction fit guide to go on there. So that means I can't hook that up right now. So I'll resolve that and I'll keep this as a spare. Could even set things up because I don't have the two. This one, the reason I got this is because there's a switch. You can reverse the direction on that. But I could potentially put another pump in to pump the other direction to take the day tank fuel and put it into my main tanks. And I could set that up for it, and it would not be difficult to do that. Or I just hang on to it as a spare. So, you know, and these, I believe this is a mechanical drive. You see it there? I had bilge pumps that were giving me a problem, and these give me a problem as well. You can see this is a transfer pump that I just keep handy, and I'm always unseizing it. You know, they last forever, but they don't work forever. So, so the one that's in there right now that we just used to transfer fuel, and the one that uses the same type of pump for fuel pump assist, they're vane pumps, so they have like a rubber rotor in it. This one's a plunger, also very low maintenance. It just has a rubber seal around the plunger, and the plunger just goes back and forth to push the fuel. So I actually think this would have been a better fit. It can push more fuel faster as well. But what's in there works, so that'll stay in there indefinitely. And this ends the phase 1 of the fuel transfer pump. So I probably won't take another look at that for about a year or so. And then I'll add those enhancements like I talked about before. One thing we missed actually is that the on-off switch for it is in the port side lazarette, and the day tank is in the starboard side lazarette. So it makes it pretty handy to just watch for the fuel to come up into the vent. And then you can quickly turn it off. And that's one of the problems with the high amperage. The wire runs all the way up and down the length of the boat. So yeah, creates a little bit of a restriction there.